When connecting a 120 volts relay to a 230 volts three-phase contactor, it is essential to understand the function of each terminal to ensure correct wiring and prevent damage. In this configuration, tone is the common terminal for the 230 volts coil. When the contactor coil is energized, current flows through tone, then through the coil, and to T2 and T3. The jumpering of T2 and T3 connects them together, essentially creating a short circuit between these two terminals relative to the coil voltage, which is acceptable for the 230 volts coil designed to function. T2 and T3 are normally open terminals. When the contactor coil is de-energized, T2 and T3 are not connected to anything internally, which means if the relay coil were connected to T2, it will not be energized when the contactor coil is de-energized because there is no active voltage potential present. Tone remains energized throughout the contactor's operation. When the contactor coil is energized, tone remains connected to the power supply, which means the relay coil can be energized independently of the contactor's operation if wired to tone. To correctly wire the 120 volts relay, follow these steps. Firstly, connect the 120 volts power supply to terminals tone and N, where N represents the neutral connection. Secondly, connect the common terminal of the relay coil to tone. Thirdly, connect the normally open terminal of the relay coil to the lone terminal of the contactor. This configuration will ensure the relay coil is energized when the start button is pressed and the contactor coil is energized. If you were to use T2 or T3 to feed the coil, the relay would not function as expected since these terminals only become active when the contactor coil is energized, and even then, they are part of a shorted circuit due to the jumper. By using tone, you ensure that the relay receives power whenever the control circuit is active, independent of the contactor's state. Therefore, always use the tone terminal to supply power to the 120 volts relay coil in this setup. Using tone ensures that the relay coil receives power whenever the control circuit is active. The tone terminal serves as a constant source of power as long as the contactor is receiving its control voltage. This allows the relay to be energized independently of the contactor's main contacts. Connecting to T2 or T3 would only provide power to the relay when the contactor is actively engaged, which may not be the desired functionality. Following the recommended connection diagram ensures the relay operates as intended. This independent operation is crucial for many control circuits where the relay needs to perform actions based on the presence of control power, regardless of the contactor's state. The connection involves a 120 volts power supply connected to terminals tone and N. Tone is the common terminal, and N is the neutral. The common terminal of the relay coil connects to tone, ensuring it receives power. The normally open terminal of the relay coil connects to the lone terminal of the contactor, which is the line 1 terminal. This setup makes sure the relay coil energizes when the start button is pressed and the contactor coil is also energized. The reason for connecting the relay coil's common terminal to tone is to provide a consistent power source. Tone is energized as long as the contactor's control circuit is active. This constant power supply is necessary for the relay to operate independently of the contactor's state, allowing it to control other devices or functions based on the control circuit status. Wiring the relay coil to T2 or T3 would not achieve the desired result. These terminals are part of the contactor's internal circuit and are not intended to power external devices. They become active only when the contactor coil is energized and are shorted together, making them unsuitable for powering a relay coil. When connecting the 120 volts relay to the 230 volts three-phase contactor, it is important to understand that the tone terminal is crucial for ensuring the relay functions correctly. The tone terminal provides a constant and reliable power source, which allows the relay to operate independently of the contactor's state. This setup is essential for applications where the relay needs to perform actions based on the presence of control power, regardless of whether the contactor's main contacts are engaged. By connecting the relay coil to tone, you ensure that it receives power whenever the control circuit is active. This allows the relay to control other devices or functions such as indicator lights, alarms, or additional control circuits based on the control circuit status. Following the recommended connection diagram, with a 120 volts power supply is connected to terminals tone and N. The common terminal of the relay coil is connected to tone, and the normally open terminal of the relay coil is connected to the lone terminal of the contactor. You can ensure that the relay coil is energized when the start button is pressed and the contactor coil is energized. In summary, the correct way to wire the 120 volts relay to the 230 volts three-phase contactor is to use the tone terminal as the power source for the relay coil. This ensures that the relay operates independently of the contactor's state, providing a reliable and consistent control signal for other devices or functions.